Have you ever been in a room where two people seem to be speaking completely different languages, even though they're technically discussing the same topic? It's like watching two minds operate on separate wavelengths, each convinced their way is the most effective. I've seen this dynamic play out so many times, especially when you put an ENTP, rational visionary, and an ISFJ, defending nurturer, in the same space. One is an agent of chaos and reinvention, while the other is a guardian of order and stability. So what happens when they're forced to solve the same problem? The ENTP thrives on disruption, constantly pushing boundaries, questioning assumptions, and searching for new, untested possibilities. For them, a problem is never just what it appears to be. It's an opportunity to reframe, redefine, and reinvent. They don't just want an answer. They want the most innovative answer, even if it means scrapping everything that's been done before. To them, stability can feel like stagnation. If a system has existed for too long, they assume it's flawed and in need of change. On the other side, the ISFJ finds comfort in structure and proven methods. They approach problems with patience, attention to detail, and a deep respect for what has already worked. While the ENTP is tearing things apart, the ISFJ is quietly piecing them back together, ensuring that nothing essential is lost in the process. They see value in consistency, reliability, and careful execution, making sure that change doesn't create unnecessary chaos. If something is working, why fix it? Now imagine these two sitting across from each other in a critical thinking workshop, staring at the same problem statement. The ENTP is buzzing with excitement, throwing out ideas faster than anyone can keep up, poking holes in existing solutions, and exploring paths no one else even considered. Meanwhile, the ISFJ listens carefully, noting every detail, filtering out the impractical suggestions, and considering how each idea would affect people in the real world. One moves at lightning speed, the other at a measured, thoughtful pace. Isn't it obvious how this could lead to frustration? The ENTP might see the ISFJ as resistant to change, too stuck in their ways to embrace innovation. The ISFJ, on the other hand, might feel overwhelmed by the ENTP's constant need to shake things up, seeing them as reckless or dismissive of important details. The ENTP wants transformation, the ISFJ wants preservation, and neither is entirely wrong. They're just wired differently. But isn't the real power in what they can offer each other? The ENTP forces the ISFJ to consider new possibilities, to look beyond their comfort zone, and to embrace ideas that might initially seem unrealistic. At the same time, the ISFJ grounds the ENTP, making sure their bold concepts aren't just exciting, but actually implementable. Without the ENTP, the ISFJ might stick too closely to tradition. Without the ISFJ, the ENTP might chase ideas that fall apart when put into practice. So do they clash? Or do they create the perfect balance of innovation and stability? If they can learn to appreciate their differences, the ENTP brings vision, the ISFJ brings execution, and together, they can craft solutions that are both forward-thinking and realistically achievable. Maybe the real challenge isn't in who's right or wrong. It's in learning how to trust and integrate a perspective completely different from your own. Now, imagine an ENP rational visionary and an ISFJ defending nurturer placed in a structured cognitive engagement model within a critical thinking workshop. The ENTP will instantly try to challenge the problem statement, eager to explore every possible alternative, no matter how unconventional. They love ambiguity and will generate dozens of ideas in rapid succession, often without concern for feasibility. The ISFJ, in contrast, will try to refine the discussion, filtering through the chaos, ensuring that the group stays focused on what is actually achievable. They will look for historical context, practical applications, and the real-world impact of any proposed solution. While the ENTP is off, redefining the problem entirely, the ISFJ is grounding the conversation by bringing attention to what is truly necessary and workable. Isn't it obvious how this could lead to frustration? The ENTP might see the ISFJ as too risk-averse, too unwilling to challenge norms, and too focused on keeping things predictable. They may feel that the ISFJ is stifling creativity by rejecting unconventional ideas too quickly. The ISFJ, on the other hand, might find the ENTP overwhelming, reckless, and disruptive to a productive conversation. The ENTP's rapid idea generation may feel chaotic to the ISFJ, who prefers a steady, organized discussion where solutions are evaluated with care. The ENTP generates possibility, but without the ISFJ's structured cognitive engagement, their ideas risk being scattered and impractical. Meanwhile, the ISFJ filters out unnecessary complexity, but without the ENTP, they risk defaulting to safe, traditional solutions that don't push boundaries. But isn't the real power in what they can teach each other? In a structured cognitive engagement framework, the ENTP provides divergent thinking, ensuring that all perspectives are explored, hidden assumptions are questioned, and new possibilities are uncovered. They disrupt stagnant discussions, forcing the group to consider angles they never would have explored otherwise. The ISFJ provides convergent thinking, ensuring that ideas are refined, structured, and organized into actionable steps. They bring order to the chaos, making sure that a clear, structured plan emerges from the whirlwind of ideas. This balance is what makes their engagement truly fruitful. The ENTP prevents stagnation, and the ISFJ ensures sustainability. So what happens when they lean into their differences instead of resisting them? The ENTP brings the energy of disruption, ensuring that the workshop doesn't default to predictable thinking. They introduce creative tension, pushing the group beyond its comfort zone, helping them see why certain impossible solutions might actually be worth exploring. Meanwhile, the ISFJ keeps the workshop productive, ensuring that brainstorming doesn't spiral into chaos and that ideas actually lead to workable outcomes. Instead of feeling that their role is to defend against ENTP's untested theories, the ISFJ can shift to refining and building on them, making the best ones practical and implementable. The key to structured cognitive engagement is understanding that creative tension can be a strength, not a weakness. The ENTP thrives in an open-ended, free-thinking environment, while the ISFJ needs organization, clarity, and structure. When both approaches are balanced in a critical thinking workshop, the ENTP forces the group to expand their thinking, while the ISFJ ensures that expansion results in concrete, effective solutions. The ENTP reminds the ISFJ not to settle for what already exists, while the ISFJ teaches the ENTP the value of patience and structured execution. What was once a clash of personalities turns into a highly effective collaboration. Could it be that the most effective critical thinking workshops don't just encourage creativity or structure alone, but the interaction between both? The ENTP challenges assumptions, while the ISFJ grounds those challenges in real-world application. One brings exploration, the other brings execution. If they learn to trust each other's approach, they create solutions that are both visionary and practical, something neither could fully achieve alone. The ENTP stretches boundaries, pushing for innovative breakthroughs, while the ISFJ ensures those breakthroughs are feasible, ethical, and sustainable. Maybe the real challenge isn't in choosing between structure or disruption. It's in learning how to integrate both into a thinking process that is both free-flowing and purpose-driven. When these two seemingly opposite forces engage in structured cognitive engagement, they don't just solve problems. They create solutions that are both transformative and actionable. If a critical thinking workshop is meant to challenge perspectives while ensuring real-world application, then there is no better pair to model that dynamic than the ENTP and ISFJ working together, one generating the spark of innovation and the other molding it into something lasting and effective.